Good morning and welcome to BOTB HQ in Parsons Green, South West London. My name is Christian Williams, a presenter here at BOTB, and we're here this morning to judge the latest Dream Car competition, which ran from the 18th to the 24th of January 2021. And just before I hand over to the lawyer this morning, once again, a massive congratulations to last week's winner of the Dream Car competition, Stuart Rollo, winning that amazing Porsche Macan GTS and £70,000. I'd now like to pass over to Charlie Hanson from Onside Law, who'll oversee the proceedings this morning.
My name's Charlie Hanson from Onside Law, and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditing company assets. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name is Matt Cannon. I'm a senior county referee and footballer and really hope we play again this season.
Good morning, my name's HUGH GILROY. I'm a referee, mentor, tutor and observer.
Good morning, my name's Peter GEORGIou and I am a football and futsal referee.
Hi, I'm Matthew Ray. I've affiliated in multiple counties across England, currently in Gloucestershire, and I've refereed from grassroots through to professional academies.
My name's Nigel Hicks. I've been a Supply League match official for the best part of 30 years and an experienced football administrator.
Hi, my name's RENEE HECTOR and I'm a football player for Watford FC Women and I'm a coach for Tottenham Hotspur Foundation.
Name's Liam Walsh. I'm a retired referee, currently an FA observer and head coach for the Middlesex Referees Academy.
Good morning, my name's Roger Wheeler. I'm a referee and I've been refereeing and lining for more than 30 years.
Good morning, my name is Leo Donnellan. I'm an ex-professional football player, having been with Chelsea, Fulham and Leyton Orient.
Good morning, my name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional footballer, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 10 individual selections.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning, Matt.
So we've got the two players in shot, player in white sort of facing us, looking slightly to his right, and a player in red and black. Looks to me like the player in white's come in and sort of nudged the player in red and black off the ball. He looks a bit sort of like he's unbalanced. And I suspect this player is going to come and play it, possibly sort of flick it on. He doesn't look completely in control of the situation. I'll draw some lines up. Firstly from this player. It's a fairly wide spread, but not too bad. And again from the player in white. So we've got a sort of a neat cluster of 7 in the middle and 3 slightly out of the cluster, which is Liam, Matthew and Peter. What I'll do is, if I can take you, Leo, you're closest to this calculated average. How did you see the shot?
Hi, Matt. Yeah, obviously the two players in shot. I think they're both fighting for the ball. I think they both feel they can get to the ball. I think looking at the player in white, his sort of body, sort of motion looks like he's on the move towards the ball. It's a 50-50 line. So that's why I placed the ball where I did.
No, thank you very much. And again, Nigel, you're just the lowest, just by a little bit. How have you seen the photograph?
Yeah, it's interesting. I felt with both of them, their eyes are looking in slightly different directions. So I do feel the ball's close. And I feel that it's probably a 3D thing, so it's in front of them, slightly in front of them, and travelling towards them. I didn't think the player in white was looking quite that high, but actually the sight line that you've got for his left-hand eye, which is on our right of the player in white, you know, that actually, yeah, he could be looking in that direction now. Now I see it that way, but yeah, I think, you know, I feel that they're competing for the ball, and you know, they're clearly in contact with each other, and it looks like they're in the air. And from the fact their hair is standing up, I suggest they've been on the rise, and they're possibly even on the way down. But
yeah, sure. Liam, I'll go to you next. You're the furthest to the right and ever so slightly higher than everybody. No, I'll take that back. Matthew's a bit higher than you. What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, I think as Leah mentioned, it's a 50-50. I think there's height on the ball, Matt, in the fact that, as Nigel just alluded to, the guy in the white with his eye line, and I just gone straight down the middle. I've just gone straight down the middle with it. I felt that, you know, you've got the guy in red and black, he's leaning back. So again, that supports my argument that there's height on the ball rather than it's closer. The white looking across and up.
So your opinion differs from Nigel. Nigel's thought that the players are on the way down with the hair. So if the ball's coming in high, you think they're coming to the ball, or
I think they're looking to jump, or even they're just off the floor.
Yeah. Okay. So that's sort of slightly differing, Nigel. So okay, that's important to note. I'll go with you, Peter. You're the furthest to the left. If I highlight your choice, how do you see this?
I just felt it was just that little bit more over to the left by looking closely at their eye line, how I saw it, and the fact that the player in white is straining to look to his right. And I just positioned the ball where I thought those two sets of eyes were crossing, and I mean where the cross is at the moment. The average, I think that's a good average.
Yeah,
because it sort of clips the three that's slightly outside, and I do think it's quite a good narrow cluster altogether.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I mean, I would add. I mean, this player in red and black, you can see his eyes sort of in the side, just white on one side. So I thought he was looking a little bit further over. But Matthew, you're just above Peter. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think I agree with what Peter's saying about the eye line of the player in red. I just, you know, I don't see his head tilted over the side. I know his eyes are sort of to the side, but I just see it further to the left. And with what Liam was saying as well, given it's a 50-50, I just thought the ball was a bit further away from the player in white.
Yeah.
And so that's why I've gone where I've gone.
Thank you. Hugh, you're in the sort of just at the bottom of this central cluster. How have you seen this?
Yeah, I think for me, they're both challenging, as already been said. I didn't think they're off the ground. I thought they were both tussling to try and get towards a ball that was kind of dropping towards them. And yeah, I do think they're playing red and black's looking that slight bit over to the right, but I can see if you don't look close at his eyes, I think it's his head shape's definitely kind of more neutral, but from zooming in on the eyes, for me, he was looking that bit to the right.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Renee, you're here. I'm highlighting you just sort of at the bottom of the cluster and pretty much in line with Liam's choice. What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, I felt that obviously it's a 50-50. They're tussling for the ball. I feel like they're just on their way up. And the player in white is likely to win the ball. And he's just sort of nudging the player in red and black, just slightly in the back to put him off balance a little bit. But yeah, I agree. I feel like even though his head is relatively straight, his eyes are clearly looking over to the left a little bit. So I just cross-reference that. And yeah, that's why I put my cross there.
Yeah, thank you. Roger, where are you here? You're just hiding behind Alan there. Yeah. I'll highlight your cross. You're in this sort of central cluster. How have you seen this?
Yeah, similar to Renee, actually. I thought the white player, I thought they were both sort of going for the ball, but the white player looked as if he was slightly more aggressive to me and was sort of confident of winning it. I just felt that the red and black player, initially, when you look his head, he sort of looks quite steeply. And then, as you said, I think when you look at his eyes, they are, you can see more white on his, what would be his right eye. So then it's not quite as steep as perhaps I first thought. So that's how I got my crossover to the right a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, Roger. I mean, I think yes, he's sort of knocking him out the way, as Renee's described very well. That he's putting him off, and then his head's tilted slightly, and he's obviously still looking at the ball. Alain, from a sort of footballing point of view, how would you see this as a challenge?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. No, I think, first of all, I think the players are coming from a different angle. I think the player in white is coming, from the, more from an angle from the right-hand side on the screen.
Yeah.
And the player in black and red is coming from the back. And looking at it, I think, the player in white is going to win the challenge. It's like, for me, it's coming with power, and he's going to, he seems to be determined, and I think he's going to head this ball. Yeah. Now the ball, of course, is in the foreground, and looking at the island, for me, it looks slightly more on the left, towards, the player. It's still a 50-50 challenge, but still slightly more on the left towards the player in red and black.
Yeah, okay. I am going to have a look with Matthew and Peter removed. And this puts us as a cluster. It covers all of us and just nips Liam's choice. I want to highlight Liam's here, really. If I remove Liam, the calculated average drops into this area here. And if I highlight it, and I think it's something that Hugh pointed out a couple of weeks ago, or maybe last week, that when we have a choice that encompasses all our choices in this magnifier representing the ball, it's the best scenario that we can possibly have. So what I want to do is to put a vote to whether we keep Liam in with Peter and Matthew removed, or take Liam out. I'm of the opinion that I think we should also take Liam out. But if I could have a yes/no vote, Hugh.
So with the three gone, is that the question? Sorry.
But yes, but they are, sorry, to clarify, I'm going to remove Peter and Matthew as they're, I think, too far over to the left as we're looking at the photograph. I don't think it's the player in red and black is looking in that direction. And it's this vote is whether we keep Liam in as well, as he's within this sort of much narrower band. If I draw another set of lines up, or a line up from his forehead, it becomes quite a narrow band. It also is narrower with Liam out from the player in white. Again, I'll draw from the middle of his forehead. So that's my justification of the three being removed, is that it is a very, very, very narrow, tight cluster. But I wanted, because I believe Liam's looking in the right direction from the player in red and black, I just wanted other people's opinions and thoughts about whether he should be in or out.
Got you. I think out. I think it is a feasible position, but I think it is a better average and a tighter cluster. And obviously, although it will only move slightly, that does matter. Yep. It will change it. And so I think it's best with three.
Yeah, thank you. Peter, I'm obviously one of yours removed from the left, but could I have your vote, please? It's really for Liam, whether he stays in or out.
Well, if you're taking myself and Matthew out, you've got to take out the other one as well.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
It's either the three stay in or the three come out.
Yep. Absolutely. Matthew.
Yeah, I prefer it with Liam out too.
Yeah, thank you. Nigel?
Actually, I'm going to say Liam in, only in as much as I think the cluster for me is tight enough at that point. And I do think with him in, there's not a lot of difference between the gap to the south to me, as you know, the gap's pretty similar to Liam. So I'd say in, but I'm happy to go with the majority.
Yeah, I mean, if I just again highlight for clarity, that's with Liam out.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
encompasses all of us. With Liam back in, even with the new calculated average, he's still outside. So
Sure,
this
sure.
is my, yeah, thank you. Renee?
Yeah, to be honest, I agree with Peter. I think you've either got to keep all three in or take all three out. So I choose to have Liam out.
Yeah, thank you. Liam, apologies, but
I appreciate you asking me, Matt, but I am going to stand by my opinion, and I am going to select that I stay in.
Thank you very much, Roger.
When you've now drawn those last lines, Matt, and got that very tight cluster, I would just go with what would that be, the 7?
Yeah, thanks, Leo. I think you were a little bit frozen there, but you're back. We're judging here with Liam being removed. Could you give me a yes or no whether you agree with that?
Yeah, I would take Liam out.
Yeah, thank you very much. And lastly, Alain.
Yeah, no, I agree with Peter. I think you know, Peter and Matthew's cross balance Liam's cross. So if we remove them 2 crosses, I would remove Liam's cross also.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so Charlie, with a good debate, we've decided to judge with the calculated average with Peter, Matthew, and Liam's choices removed.
Thanks a lot, Matt. So if you're all happy, then please click submit.
Thanks again, Charlie.
Thank you, judges. So the coordinates selected are x1202, y783. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company assets to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform BOTB. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.